Yeah, 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 yeah. This one I bet you the jabba. Me, I know get time, the da ba da. Da cover my face, la ba da. Biggie man, we know me where I ba da. Tell me, what's it come? You are come, all depend on the captain. Ride the boat, I know feet, die for nothing. What's it come? All depend on the captain. Ride the boat, I know feet, die for nothing. Make you no say anything when you do, them must commend it.
We are back in the ladies' lounge.
Anything when they do, I they try to
Happy Wednesday, y'all.
Plenty so far we face just to make sure money day. But my people then go say I know one buy, I know one die, I know one baby, I want enjoy, I want job life, I want buy motor, I want build house, I still want to know. Tell me, what's it called? You are God, all depending. They can't ride the whip, I know feet, die for nothing.
All right. We are back in the ladies' lounge. It is a new week, and I got a new special guest with me. So let's just get into it. Welcome back to the ladies' lounge, where we have real conversations about life, love, and everything in between. I'm your host, Britt Danielle, and today we have an incredible episode for you. We're thrilled to welcome Coach King into the ladies' lounge as our special guest. Tonight's topic, we are talking about Black men in the community, the power of mentorship, sharing his wisdom and experiences on this topic that's close to our hearts. We're going to explore how mentorship can shape the lives and uplift future generations and create lasting changes. So, as you know, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable. Let's dive into this powerful conversation. But before Coach King, we get into his business, I need everybody to make sure that you have gone on over to YouTube and you have subscribed to the Ladies Lounge on YouTube, because after tonight, we have one more episode on Facebook Live, y'all. One more episode, and then we are fully switched over to YouTube. So please make sure y'all are subscribed to the Ladies Lounge on YouTube. Without further ado, welcome Coach King to the Ladies Lounge. I'm excited to have you.
How you doing, Britt? You all right?
I am wonderful. You know what? Nobody ever asked me how I was doing.
I always ask you how you doing.
You do, but nobody asked me how I'm doing in the Ladies Lounge. So you the first.
Wow.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Look, I'm doing better now that you don't ask me how I'm doing. How about that?
All right, that's what's up.
So, Coach King, who's Coach King?
Me? I'm Coach King. Coach King. Wait, first off, my grandma taught me manners. Good evening, Lady Lounge. How y'all doing? I'm King, a basketball trainer, mentor, very active in my community when it comes down to the youth, educating them with more than just basketball, more about teaching life lessons through the game of basketball. That's my platform, what I serve for other youth.
Okay. So you are very active in the community. So go ahead and let the people know in the Ladies Lounge where you from.
From Miami, Florida.
Let's get into it. Come on now.
From Miami, Florida, 305.
Come with it. We just had to put that out there.
Hold on. Let me take that back. See, most people look at us as Miami, Florida. No, I'm from Dade County.
Come on.
305.
Come on.
That's where I'm from. But Trick
Daddy. I'm gonna play some Trick Daddy up in here. Right. Listen.
Don't have me go get my pots now.
What? Listen, we got home team in the house, and shout out to them Bulls. I ain't no Bull myself, but
what Bulls you talking about?
Yo,
the Northwestern Bulls?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got my hat over there. You know, first class in '97, new school. You know,
Come
best
on
class
with it.
and the largest. The
We
largest
give
class.
props when
No,
props are due. Look, if you know, you know. If you from Miami, you know, then you know. Getting back on topic because I'm really, really excited about this topic. So let me just let y'all know how I even met Coach King. Like when he talked about just giving back to the community, like that is actually what he does. And I'm not just speaking from experience because I know him. I'm speaking from how I got to know him. So my son wants to play basketball. And I remember just like praying, like, God, how can I help him, with his skills and just get him out there. He could be amongst other guys and things of that nature. So I really didn't know that how this was going to look. And I'm at work. I get this call, this lady on the line. She's from Miami too. And I will never forget, this was the Monday after Jazz in the Gardens weekend. And so when I seen that she was from Miami, I asked her about Jazz in the Gardens. I was like, how was it? And we talking and conversing. And she was like, we talked about like the different events and if she was gonna go next year. So she wound up telling me where she worked. And so she was like, I'm a coach. I said, well, what type of coach are you? If you don't mind me asking, now we done had this cold conversation, right? She said, I'm a basketball coach. I said, girl, shut up. How about I'm looking for a coach for my son? Like he really want to play basketball. So she was like, really? She said, I'll be out there at PAL. Shut up. He said, what? She was like, what happened? I said, my son, that's where he go to play basketball, shoot the hoops, whatever. Um, she was like, that's wild. I probably not saw your son before. And I was like, you probably have. And so she was like, I have an amazing guy to put you in contact with. She was like, his name is Coach King. And the way that this lady spoke about you, like she spoke highly of you. She was like, you are very active with the guys, who come to you for the training, just how you are as a man, yourself. And of course, again, shout out to Miami Northwestern Bulls. You let them know that you are a bull. And I was just like, okay. So this is how Coach King and I connected. He is my son's trainer and just been able to get to know him a lot more. I thought it would be phenomenal to invite him on the ladies lounge or in the ladies lounge to talk about this because he is very active in the community. And I'm gonna let him tell his story of how he became this mentor. Why is it so important to give back to the community, to these young men, and not just young men, y'all. He have young women on his team too. I don't want to give too much of his story away, and I want to let him tell it.
Well, my journey started back in how can I say this? But 90, I had just graduated high school, 97, let's say 98. That's how long I've been doing this. It started with one of my friends I grew up with in the neighborhood. It was at the flea market, Dade County Flea Market. And one day he was like, hey, you should just come out there and help me coach the kids. But prior to that, me and my oldest brother, who actually got me into basketball, we used to always go watch games. And he used to always ask me why I don't coach. So when I got the opportunity from my friend, was sending him at the flea market to come coach the kids at Gwen Cherry. So yeah, I'll come out there and check it out. And what happened was we was coaching we had a game one weekend. They still bet on the youth, which I think is crazy that they bet on these kids. And there was a lot of money involved. We was playing against a kid named at the time was Ray Shipman. He was one of the top players to ever come out of Dade County, went to Miami Pace High School. Played with my godson, Ray Taylor. And they was 13 at the time. And they called the call. The coach took the cooler and slung it in the middle of the floor during the game. Me, I'm new. So I'm like, dude, this dude crazy. So what they did was he couldn't coach no more. So by me being his assistant, I had to fill in. So that's what my journey really took. It started from there. It started at Gwen Cherry back in 1990, 99. Yeah.
99, 2000.
Yeah.
Started.
Yeah, 99. That's when it really took off. And That was the first team I had at Gwen Cherry. I turned it. We was winning games, but we wasn't winning by the margin I knew we could win by, because he didn't know how to exercise the talent. So I brought my teaching the game of basketball from what I learned from my coach, which was Coach Green at the time. I mean, from my youth days, I took what he taught me and started teaching it to them. And then we just started beating everybody by 20, because it was a different atmosphere.
So with the love of basketball, because you used to play basketball, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So with the love of basketball and also the love of community, how did you like mesh the two? How did you bring it all together and realize like this is what I'm doing?
Oh man. That started when I think that was 2000. That's when I got Erica Wheeler. She's the point guard for the Indiana Fever right now. I had Ray Teller. I had a kid named Torrance Morris and Matthew Darden. And that was the year when I really knew that's something I wanted to do. Because those kids' parents, they was all single moms, right? So what I would do is I wasn't just a coach to always just worry about basketball. Sometimes, kids ain't have shoes. Kids' lights getting cut off. I was that guy that stepped in and was like, hey, here you go. I helped out, because in order for these kids to actually continue their dreams as far as playing basketball in high school, they had to come to the park. And if they wasn't getting fed, it was days where I had a kid. I'm gonna get into that story later. That was in my further years. I had a kid at that time. His mom couldn't feed him, so it was days where he would go without food. And that used to bother me. So I used to have to scrape up pennies at the time and make sure that kid was fed every day. So that's when I really knew there was something I had to do, because all the kids flocked to me for some reason. I don't know, because it ain't just about basketball when it comes to me. It's more about me teaching them life lessons. So through life, things happen. I'm that coach that if you mess it up in school, I'm pulling up. You go up to college and you play games, I'm that coach that's pulling up. I'm actually going to Alabama next weekend. So next week.
Because you're pulling up.
I'm pulling up.
You pull.
I'm that coach.
Okay.
I'm pulling up.
Now, when you pull up, what you do when you pull up?
It depends on the situation. If it's a bad situation, I pull up and I fix it. If it's a good situation where I'm just coming to watch you play, I'm coming to watch you play. My guy David Jean Baptiste, and I know I'm gonna send this to him. He gonna crack up about this. David Jean Baptiste was the kid that sent Tennessee or Chattanooga into the tournament with the half-court buzzer beater shot. Haitian kid out of Miami. Been working with him since he was 5th grade, all the way through college. And he had an episode during COVID where he was tripping, like flunking out of school. Like I'll never forget, the coach FaceTime me. I'm talking to the assistant and Coach Parrish at the time. We chopping it up. And he was like, man, Dave hallucinating, man. I said, well, let me FaceTime him. I FaceTime Dave. I'm listening to him and his teammate. I'm watching them. I'm watching their body language. I called Coach. I'll never forget. I was outside of my garden. It was like 3:00. I FaceTime Coach back. I said, Coach, check this out. Don't tell him. I treated it like coming to America. Don't alert him to my presence. I said, I'll be there in the morning. I went to Enterprise, renting the car, 10 hours straight to Tennessee or Chattanooga, 6:45 in the morning. I never forget. I was knocking on his room window. When his teammate opened the curtain, he thought he saw Jesus. Yeah, it's me. I'm here.
Wow.
I spent the whole 2 weeks up there because I had to get him back on track because he was flunking out of school.
Wow.
And he was a star basketball. He was going, when kids go up to college, not from Miami, a lot of kids have mental breakdowns. And it's because they miss their parents. And if you think about it, a lot of the kids that actually leave from Miami, they're mama babies. A lot of the fathers not involved. I'm just being real with you. I'm keeping it above.
And please do here in the ladies' lounge. Please do.
So when those kids miss their moms, they have breakdowns. And that was the first time I ever seen that kid cry the way he cried. Yeah, everybody, his mom, because they Haitian descent. So it's like his mom was like, Coach King, you the other dad, and you the dad, you the mom, you do everything for Coach, you do everything for David. So I was like, nah, but at the end of the day, he needs his parents. I can only do so much, And when he got on track, right now he's overseas making a killing.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing phenomenal. So
that's awesome.
So yeah. I pull up.
That's okay. Pull up game real strong. We need that. And this, so I don't know if you knew, but my last episode, we talked about single mothers raising sons. And one of the big topic was about how we do need our men in the community to help with, and not just the guys, right? But you do have some females on that you train. So it's obviously a need for our children overall to have that good mentor. Just and it's not. And what I spoke about last Wednesday was this is not about stepping in and taking over as the parent. It takes a village. Like I remember even growing up, and I had just so many people in my life. My mom is a retired correctional officer. So take your child to work day. I had inmates talking to me. I had, officers talking to me. I bet you one thing, I ain't never been arrested or my name ain't in the system like that. I can guarantee you that, okay? But it's so important to have just that niche. And I think some men, we keep it real here in the ladies lounge. I don't believe some men can handle that. Like just having another male step in because they feel like it overshadows them as a father.
Nah, from my point of view, from my point of view, a lot of guys. From my point of view, dealing with the youth, a lot of guys need that help. Some guys actually acknowledge me. I have a parent right now. He got 9 kids, and they're cousins to my boys. And that just past weekend, they got mad at me because I forgot I took the cooler for the homecoming game, and they wanted to come to my house because I got pineapples and stuff growing in the garden, which one is ready. I'm gonna pluck later on the night. They wanted to come to my house, and he was one of the guys that, like, I was walking through the park one day, and this lady stopped me and was like, "They speak very highly of you." I'm like, "Huh?" It's like, "Yeah, all the kids talk about how you be growing this, you be teaching them this, you be doing this and doing that." And that dude actually walked up to me one day and gave me my props and was like, "Man, I appreciate everything you teaching my kids, man, because I don't have the time." Because he got so many kids, he got the DJ on the weekend. He got to go to work.
Wait, say that last part again because the phone froze. I think we got disconnected, so I ain't hear the last part. When he was like, he gave you your props.
Yeah, he gave me my props because he stepped to me and said he appreciates everything I do with his kids because I take them fishing. Like the kid actually caught his first fish with me. That's something you're supposed to do with pops, but you don't have that time because the cost of living in Miami is so bad. You got to work doggone 45 jobs just to survive down here. So a lot of times when I see myself helping these kids, I don't look for no kickback. It's just something it's natural for me because growing up with me, my grandparents raised me, my grandma and granddad. So my granddad would take the kids on our block every Saturday to Bicentennial Park. So we thought it was his part because we went to McDonald's morning park, McDonald's in the afternoon. We played football and basketball in the streets at the house. So what he did with us is something I do with my kids and their friends. So it's like it's a second nature to me, to be honest with you.
But I think it's so dope because you had that experience, like I didn't grow up with my grandfather. But you hit a valuable point with saying, how important it is to have not only just both parents, but just the time that you do spend with your kids. That's most important. Now, I have been fishing. I've been fishing with my daddy and just changing tires and doing all this other stuff that he taught me how to do. But that was just, now I look back at it and it is, the time management. And when you say these kids flock to you, like that sounds like that's why, because you spend time with them. And it's not that we're not belittling the parents either, but I think that's really big that a father could come to you and give you your flowers to say, hey, I appreciate what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I see I see the work and I know, look, I'm happy I got you. We in this together. That's what I was like. And we need that. And our kids need to see that as well, to see that we as parents can come together and do this thing. Like, it ain't like, oh, you can't say nothing to my child. You know how some people
and that that, like the other night when I went to the West football game, and you know, you got to go through the metal detector. You go through the metal detector, then they got to warn you. So I asked the officer, I'm like, hey, is that really necessary? Like, I'm going through a metal detector. Once I pass the metal detector, y'all got to warn me. I said, man, I'm gonna be 100 with you. What y'all need to do is start letting parents beat their kids' ass and won't have these problems. Because that's where it started from. You got a lot of parents nowadays, they try to be the friends, be their kids' friend. And that's where the disconnect come with the discipline. See, one thing about me, I demand respect. And when I demand respect, I teach all my kids that come through my program. When I talk to you, you look me in the eyes. So that's how you're gonna carry yourself. Whenever anybody talk to you, you look them dead in the eye. Because I can look at you and tell if you're lying to me or not if you don't look me in your eyes. Because when you go to doing all that different stuff, I know something wrong.
You know? Them eyes, boy.
Yeah, you got to give me that respect. That's how I was taught. And when you got these parents trying to be the kids' friends, that's where the disconnect coming with the discipline. That's why these kids feel like they could just do what they want to do. When I show up to my oldest son football practice, when the coach is late and I blow that whistle, boy, before I even get up, when they see my car pulling up and they coaching in there, you should see them trying to put that gear on it. They trying to start running because they know once I come over, it's all business. You know, and it's not demanding the respect to scare them. It's demanding the respect to understand this authority in life. You go to a job, you're gonna have to listen to your boss. You go to school, you gotta listen to your teacher. Yeah. It took a homeless man. I put this on my life right now. It took a homeless man, God bless his soul, Mr. Terry, fixed bikes. You know, I work for the city. So I was driving the street sweepers at the time. My oldest son was in the 3rd grade at the time. When I say he was cutting up, it pretty much reminded me of me because I was that type of kid cutting up. And we had just left a parent conference that morning. Around 12 o'clock, his mama called me and said they called me to come get him from the school. He's doing something else. I said, you know what? I ain't going to beat him this time. Go get him. So I was over town. I'll never forget. I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to send you some money. Go get a box of Church's chicken. She got 2 boxes of Church's chicken. She brought the chicken over there to me. I got out my sweeper. And over town, you know, they had the homeless people on the streets. You know, they were just laying down. And I told my son, I said, you're going to walk down and you're going to give everybody a piece of chicken. And when you come back, this guy right here, Mr. Terry, you're going to sit right here and you talk to him. I told my baby mama, I said, hey, pull up. I got in my sweeper and went down the street, left him sitting right there. Right? So when I came back, about 15 minutes, let him talk to him. We came back. And his mom, the dude told me, he said, look across the street. He said, what you see over there? Son say, nothing. He said, now look right here. You got 2 parents that love you. He said, I ain't had this coming up. That's why I'm out here. And I was like, wow. that was deep for me, you know, because I'm like, right. It's important that these kids have somebody in place to actually teach them, because if not, they're going to stray away. And I never forget when my son got in the car with me that day, he said, Daddy, why he was so black? I said, because he can't take baths. I said, you see how you go home and you play your game? You can watch TV, you can do whatever, you can go outside. I said, he can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, my son showed me his grades, 8th grade. Shit, that boy got a 95. He done made the principal on the road. I had no problem. And I can only do so much as a parent. So when I give him, and I tell everybody, I get that dude his flowers, because it took that conversation for him to have with my son to get my son on the right track. Because now with the way he's playing football, my son gonna be all right when it comes to sports. But he got to have the grades in order to play those sports. So I don't have that problem. He got it now. Got enrolled into a magnet program now, so we good. What? He go to other people's school now.
Not the other people's school. not the other people's school. Jeez.
He go to a good school though. It's pretty good. The program is very excellent, and he has to maintain. In order for him to stay there, he has to maintain what it was, a 3.0 GPA, but he has a 3.3. Yeah, you have the Shenandoah. Because he's coming, he's coming from the he's getting the door. If he's coming from the inner city, and he has to maintain that the whole year.
Wow,
that's the only way he'll be able to stay in the program. But last year we sent him, and that's how I met his football coach. This year we sent him to the all men's preparatory school, which I'm gonna send my youngest son there next year because he need the year of just being around men.
Now, I'm sorry. All men preparatory school.
Yeah, they have one on it's an all boys academy, Northwest 2nd Avenue, 28th Street in Miami.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's K through 8. And when my kids' mom You know, like we get along when it comes to the education side. When she decided that, I was against it at first, you know, because I'm like, oh boy, it's like he ain't gonna be around no girls, and then you know, and I'm like, because you know my son, a ladies, he a ladies man, you know, and I was against it. But then when I got to meet the teacher, the principals, and I understood, okay, hey, they just like me. My son need that. He gonna need a year of that because it's gonna prepare him for high school, and which it has done.
Wow.
So
that's pretty dope. Now, with your experience of mentorship, can you share how mentorship has played a role in shaping your life and career?
oh man. And you know what's crazy though? So where I work in the sanitation department for the city. I come to work sometime, my coworkers be like, hey, yo, you got a game tonight? I'm putting up to a little kids game. Like, for real? All right. You know, it's cool. And it's like when we have bring your kid to work day, I bring some of my players to my job because I want to show them that balance. Like, okay, yeah, they look at me, oh, coach, can you make a lot of money? No, I don't. I just got a good job. You know, I spend half of my money on y'all, to be honest with you. But my career has really laid the foundation for me to actually do what I'm doing as far as basketball and just teaching and traveling the world, you know, following my kids. My job plays a major role in that. Because some days when I can't get off, like I wanted to get off last week, for next week, it's like you can't get off. There's too many people out. But, you know, when I be like, hey, it's for a basketball reason, some of my bosses, they know what it is. Like my director, I helped her daughter get into basketball. So, you know, she might bend a curve every now and then for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it helps
But
out.
that's pretty cool. So it's like your job understands what you're doing in the,
Yeah.
community and
Yeah.
is willing to work with you. Like, nah, we got to let him go because we need you out there
Yeah.
on the field, to
No, my
perform.
job are pretty cool. Like I go to my boss, but see, I treat all my bosses with respect. See, one thing I learned, my oldest brother, I never forget, God bless his soul. He died on the Monday. So that Sunday night was the last conversation we had because we didn't know he was gonna pass away. But it was all God though. And I never forget, the last words he told me was, hey man, make peace with mama. Because you know, me and my mom we weren't always on the best of terms because I'm that middle baby. You know, she cheated on my brother, them dad, they was married and got me. So, you know, it was like how can I say it was like anger towards me. Yeah, I'm just being deep. I'm being real with you. It was anger.
Keep it real, honey.
It was more like anger towards me because when you look at me, you see my dad. And yeah, so you know, that's when I learned the bitter side of women when it comes to dealing with kids that they really want to be with the dad but can't. I had to learn that the hard way.
I was just going to say that. Ooh.
Yeah, so when my brother was like, make peace with mama, man. You know, your mama love you. I'm like, I love my mama too, but I just can't be nobody just beating on me every day. You know what I'm saying? Just yelling at me for no reason. You know?
Right.
My grandma and granddad stepped in. They raised me from I was 12 all the way till I finished school. So I was a grown man, honestly. And it's like he told me, he said, man, in order to make it in life, you treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's my motto right now to this day. I treat people the way I want to be treated. And I can't really hold a relationship with women because no matter where I go, I know somebody. I'm just being real with you. Like we go out of town, we go to these basketball events.
To me, you can't hold a relationship with women. Now you just can't say that in the ladies' lounge and skip over that.
So listen, you got to understand what it is that I do. I'll put a kid before. If a kid in a tight situation, I'm gonna help that kid. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why I do that because I remember it was times when I was living with my mom. We was poor, and I never forget we ate pinto beans and cornbread. I swear, I put this on everything I love for like 5 months every day, and white rice. Because my mom, she was struggling. She was raising 3 boys by herself in a 1-bedroom apartment. So that's why when you look at my place, I understand how to live small. You understand what I'm saying? Because of how I was raised. And I used all that stuff as motivation and fuel to dig into the youth. Because a lot of these kids have the same similarities that I had coming up, but they don't understand it because the parents ain't really teaching it like that, you know?
Right.
You You got parents living in a 1-bedroom apartment and they buying kids Balenciaga. You got to make it make sense, you know? And the kids where I coach at and where I mentor at, a lot of those kids' parents don't have it like that. You know, they inner city kids in the projects. You know, they don't know if they're going to have a meal in the night or the next night.
Oh, wow.
It's deep like that.
That is real deep. And
yeah.
My hat goes off to you to even just stand in the paint and just be whatever it is that they need. Like, you know, I heard you say,
I got one, not to cut you off, I got one that's going to make you cry. And that's what
don't make me cry. Please don't do that. I'm a crier.
Hey, listen, I had a kid, I never forget, his name was Amos. I needed a point guard for my team. So somebody was like, hey, you need to go watch this kid play. I drove over town. And I'm like, boy, this kid, because I was looking for a point guard for my AAU team, my travel team. And I'm like, boy, this kid here, man, he was a dog. Like, when I say a dog, like in basketball, a dog, like, in the 4th grade, this kid was dropping 30. I mean, he was that kid. Man, when I met this kid, his mom and dad, listen, they had 17 kids. Yeah, you heard what I said. Yeah, 17. They had, I want to say, was it 4 sets of twins, 4 or 5 sets of twins, and just it was crazy.
Okay.
So I never forget. I used to take the kid home from practice, right? And I used to be like, man, you good? He'll look at me, and he used to look sad, but he wouldn't open up to me. So at the time, I had Ted Lucas, Slip and Slide owner. His son was playing for me. So one day I'm like, Ted, man, hey, like this kid really won't open up. So he said, you ever thought about like really talking to the parents? So when I talked to the parents one time, the dad kept it a buck. He said, man, King, we ain't got it. Like, cause you know, like with AAU, it costs money. And what really made me take this kid tab, one day I was dropping him off home. This shit about to make me cry again. I took this kid home and I asked him, I said, yo, you good? You hungry? You got food in the house? I said, man, go in there and check to see if it's food left. That kid came back to my truck. He said, Coach King, all the food gone, but I'm all right. He said, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to wake up and I ain't going to be hungry. Yo, I swear for God, Britt, I drove to the stop sign and I broke down. At the time, I wasn't making the money I make on my job. So, you know, so with the bank I had, I'm like, man, excuse my French, fuck it. I went and knocked on the door. I said, come on, Jet. I said, how many of y'all in here and eat? I went to overdraft my account just to feed them. And I'm like, and then like it's stuff like that make me come home and just like, damn. Like, imagine going through that every single day. And then it brought up to when we was eating that pinto beans and rice and cornbread. You know, it just is on a different scale now. And I'm like, yeah, you'd be surprised at what goes on in these people's houses.
Sure. Well, again, my hat goes off to you. Just give you your flowers for being the man that you are, because that is so important. And we need that in our community for our kids. We need it for the women. We need men like you know, we need y'all out here in the world. But man, that I can only imagine. I'm sure you have stories galore of, you know, just the not so high side of things. However, because we I don't want to go too deep on that level as far as in that realm, but share with us now, who have came through Coach King training, coaching, like, and where are your athletes today?
Oh my God.
Like, who have you coached? Who have you trained?
Man, you about to make me get up and actually show you my wall of fame.
You got a wall of fame?
Yeah, I got a wall of fame in my house. You see Carlos Booth? That's all right. So look, if you look behind me, all right, if you look behind me, that's Carlos Boozer's jersey. I trained Carlos Boozer for 7 years and his kids, the Boozer twins.
Uh-huh.
Then let me see. Let me turn my camera around. how you do this thing. You know, I'm learning how to do all this high tech stuff. So if you look here on my wall,
it's like an MTV Cribs in the ladies' lounge, y'all.
yeah. So if you look here, so this is Adrienne Motley. She got drafted by the Indiana Fever from. She played at UM. This is Amber Smith. I had this on my wall since 2000. I've had this made since 2007. That's when they date. So this is Erica Wheeler. She's the point guard that backs up Clayton Clark for the Indiana Fever. That's when she was in high school. That was her sophomore year when they went to state. That is her. That's her on that team I told you about, that Gwen Cherry, my first championship. Gwen Cherry. That is Ray Taylor up there. He's the day trainer. I'm pretty sure everybody knows from Love and Hip Hop. That's my godson. Yeah. That is Kenny Borton. Actually, he's worth like 3.7 million in China.
Wow.
And that's our team photo. Let me see where we at. That's the team photo right here of Erica. Then when we won the championship. But these are all, that's L'Oreal right here. She played at Norland. Matter of fact, that is T.Y. Hilton right here. Right here, down at the bottom right here. Let me see. That is T.Y. Hilton. His son played on my team 2 years ago. We won the championship. Some of everybody that came through here. I got Derrick Rose up here. It's an autographed jersey. Wow. This is the jersey that means the most to me. Everybody wants Erica Wheeler's WNBA jersey. This is the one that means the most. This is the one when she was in Puerto Rico and she was making like $200 a month before she actually got to actually go play for the Atlanta Dream. And that's a trip where me and Booz flew private to surprise her to watch her play her first WNBA game. That's my guy. Yeah. You know, that's him and Booz close friends. So we was in Portugal. I got a chance to work with him. That's my co-worker's son. That's little George. He's one of the top football.
Let's go, Liberty City Warriors.
Yeah. You already know we represent. This is the jersey when I went to China. We did a camp for the NBA in China. And actually was let me see. This is Godfrey right here, the top signature up there. Passed away 3 years ago. He was the first Louis Vuitton model, male model. He did the camp. And that is David Freshman's year jersey, the kid I was sitting by that Tennessee.
Yeah.
And this is my Penny Hardaway autographed jersey. So I was training his son, Jaden, since the 5th grade. That's the jersey he gave me after his last season, just now.
Wow.
That is Ray Taylor right here. When he was at FAU. These shoes belong to Jet Howard, who plays for the Orlando Magic right now. Went to Michigan. Oh yeah, it's dope. Yeah, this thing ain't lit. Hold on. So this is my wall of fame.
And we still going.
Oh, it ain't over yet. No. We're still going. These are Erica Wheeler autographed shoes from the camp she just did with Adidas, where I do every year for her. Autographed Joakim Noah and Derrick Rose. My basketball card. So I took a trip to Paris for the NBA, did a camp. This is my Lakers hat. That's autograph.
Lakers. So you had something to do with?
Yeah, when Boosie was playing for the Lakers. I got a Kobe autograph hat too, but that's in the safe. I can't get to that right now. That's my Bulls hat autograph. The whole Knicks team signed this hat. That's wait, where we at? Wait, I gotta bring the camera down. Hold on. The whole Knicks team signed that hat. The whole Houston Rockets team signed that hat, and I actually have the game ticket.
It's so dope.
Yep, and this is my Penny Hardaway hat right here. And this basketball down here means the world to me. That's the first ball Booz gave me when he hired me to train him.
Oh, wow.
This is my Memphis Tigers. Well, this hat is autographed by Penny. It's a real good friend of mine. Wait, let me see it. Oh, Penny Hardaway.
Oh, so you and him look real cool?
Yeah, that's my guy. We talk about basketball all the time. When I need to pick his brain, I call him. That's my Derrick Rose autograph hat. And these are Carlos Boozer's size 17 shoe from the first year he worked out with me.
What?
Yep, Penny Hardaway autograph basketball here. Howard autographed this basketball. This was my favorite because Anthony Simons, the point guard for the Portland Trail Blazers, he played on my 6th, 7th, and 8th grade team. So this autographed by him and Damian Lillard and Kellen Winslow.
So you showing all of this is not to, and I want to put a disclaimer out there, it's not to like brag or boast or anything. It's really to show that the work that you put in.
It's accolades.
With these kids, at the time, these kids who have gone on and become, you know, big NBA, WNBA superstars.
Watch this. See Cameron Boozer with the red shirt? That's Cameron Boozer. #1 player in the country right now. 7 feet. That's Boozer. Yeah, this when they was young. And that's Caden right there next to his brother Kamani. Yeah, this was in the back of Pittsburgh house at the time when he was living in Pinecrest. And these are my babies right here. Let me see. Hold on. These are my babies. I have 6 state titles. Wait, no, 4 state titles. And this one right here.
I'm telling y'all, we Ladies Lounge taking it up a notch.
Hold on. So this ring right here, this ring, it's the ring I got my kids for winning the championship last year.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a state championship type ring with the green cherry bull on it. I had them custom made for all the kids.
And I definitely appreciate you, like, even taking time out to even share all of this.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, Britt. So this right here, I know this is gonna be dope right here. So Erica is sponsored by Adidas.
Yeah.
So you see Adidas. Those are on the top shelf. And this box is custom made from Penny Hardaway. It's a Hardaway box. So this shoe right here is what changed my life. It just dropped again. But that's a phone project that got me put out the house.
I'm gonna be a trainer now. Go ahead and get out here.
Yeah, so this is it's all pennies in here.
But I definitely appreciate you sharing that. Now we got some more questions for you here.
Talk to me.
In the Ladies Lounge. Now that, because one thing I am really, really big on here in the Ladies Lounge, like we do have to show and our receipts so people can understand, you know, what it is that we are doing out here in the world.
But I don't brag, Britt.
But it's not, and I'm not saying that you are bragging, but I do believe that you should let the people know. Like because people believe you when you're real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not, I didn't take it as you bragging or anything like that. In fact, I do appreciate you even sharing that, because it shows where you've come from, you know, where these athletes have come from, where they're going, you know, that the impact that you do have on the community. Like, you're not just here just to talk, like you're actually putting in the work. And these kids, listen, you know, there was something that you said that they took away from that, and they listened and they applied it, which is most important. So that, for me, that's really big, to be able to have all of these memories and reminders, you know, too. I would like to believe that you look at your wall of fame and it just be like, I did that. Like, this is what I'm doing. I'm walking in my purpose.
You know what's funny about that? You know, we all dream, right? And I always had a dream to train, like, from these kids. I always had a dream to train somebody that may get big, that go to the NBA. And my first client was Carlos Boozer. And then Erica got drafted to Atlanta Dream. And we used to have long conversations where we used to cry on the phone about her agent at the time was Tisha Penatero. And, you know, she wasn't working hard for her. She switched agents. You know, she made that dream come true. So I'm being honest with you. When as a kid, you dream of going to China, you dream of going to Paris. You know, you see all this stuff on TV. And I never forget, I got with Carlos Boozer. And after the first season, you know, I got a chance to go to Chicago. You know, you sit courtside, you sit at the games. And going into the second year, he was like, "Hey, man, you need to get a passport." You know, me from the hood. For what? Where we going? First trip, we went to China. I'm like, whoa, I'm finna eat some Chinese rice for real. So we went to China 3 times. So, and like the experience of just the flight, the first time we went to China was 29 hours. So I was on a plane for 26 hours, nonstop. Then we had to fly 3 hours once we landed in Beijing to another little city in China, which was dope. And one thing about me, how I live, I don't know, have you ever heard of The Secret?
Yes.
Okay, so I that's how I move. You know, the law of attraction. And one day I was watching The Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. And I was like, man, China looked dope at the time. I'm like, China looked dope. Boom, got the call. We going to China. Then there was something else I was doing. He was like, "Hey, we going to Paris." I went to Paris for 2 weeks. We did Italy. I got a chance to go in and walk. Yeah, I got a chance to go to the Colosseum. Yeah. So if you look
So
at,
it sounds like you were also able to experience a lot that you may not have,
changed my life.
Like you just thought it was just going to stay a dream.
Yeah, no, it changed my life. So my wall of fame, if you, I didn't get into detail, but a lot of places that I had, like I went to Disney World in Paris. I didn't know they had a Disney World in Paris till we landed. So
Oh, wow.
like, they got Disney World in Paris, we going.
Yeah.
So everywhere. So every place I visit, I always bring something back, no matter where I go. That's always my motto, because I try to let my kids.
So now let me ask you, you haven't traveled the world now pretty much. Is this stuff that you bring back to the kids to help them understand like it's bigger than just staying in that box
Yes.
of what's comfortable?
Yes. So that's the reason why I got into travel. So I'm gonna give them their flowers. And I know she's gonna love this. Alexis, Coach Jack, and Miss Russell, and Cha. They're the Russell family. 2 years ago, I had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I had because CJ's in 11th now. I had the luxury of this. They into the youth too, out of Opelika. They actually brought me on to coach basketball. And the reason why I got much respect for them is because they took a bunch of kids at the inner city. Listen, at the inner city, Opelika, the heart of Opelika. And they really charged these kids nothing. They was flying every damn well. And I'll never forget, I'm like, we actually finna fly out of town? So they was paying for my trip. So what I was doing was, whenever we'll fly somewhere, hey, can my kids come? They was like, yeah, you just got to buy their ticket. And they was getting the tickets for dirt cheap. I don't know how they was doing it. But the experience for my kids to actually fly, to see what was going on, because I never forced my kids to play basketball. I let them, when it comes to sports, I let them lead their own way. But to see what they was doing with these inner city kids, I'm like, man, I work for y'all for free.
Oh, wow.
Y'all paying me, but what y'all doing ain't nobody doing. Y'all take it, whether we win or lose. They showing these kids how to fly, how to read their boarding passes. Like all that stuff is like lessons. People all things that
correct.
matter. We go in a different place, we eat, and then they like to eat. So wherever we go, we finding the best restaurants. That's where we eating at. But I got to get a Geno Steak, which it was terrible, by the way. We went to Ishkabir, where that was better. But we got a chance to eat at these places that people dream of going to, that don't travel, that want to travel. But they doing this with kids that is 10, 11, and 12 years old.
Changing lives, changing mindsets.
That is dope. That is real dope.
Because some kids never even been on a plane, let alone
and you know
been
what?
out of their own city.
No. I'm finna no. So I don't know if I told you when I was a couple weeks ago, I had to go in April. This was May. No, the ending of July, the beginning of July, the middle of July. My kids had to play in front of college coaches. My girls, they had the girls tournament in Atlanta. I went for a week. My assistant never been past the stadium. So when we went to Atlanta, that blew his mind.
Wow.
Like you got a lot of people in Miami that never went past Pro Player Stadium. A lot of kids. And you can't say.
I'm sorry, did you just say Pro Player Stadium?
Yeah, it's hard right now, but Pro Player Joe Robbie, all the names.
I had to call it out. Some people don't even know these days. That it's one of them. If you know, you know.
Yeah. So it's just hard for me to believe that. So I try to change. What I do is I try to help. So with the travel basketball, okay, we get a chance to go to Orlando. At least you go past the stadium. You go into Orlando.
Correct. Absolutely.
Most people never went to Disney World. So what I come in at is changing the kids' lives. Is we going here. This is what we're going to play at this weekend. This is what we're going to do. And the parents get on board. You put them on the small payment plan for the ones that can't afford it. And then, most of the time I'm working 1,000 extra hours overtime trying to cover up the balance. To make a kid dream come true. It is what it is.
So That is so dope. And
Yeah.
this is why I wanted to bring the spotlight on you and invite you in, because this stuff like this don't make the news. You know what I'm saying? Like, just not all the time. Like just knowing that it's people out there that's actually active in the community. Like for somebody who's watching this, and you don't know the resources, whether you male or female, and you don't know the resources, but you know that your kid, you know that you want your kid out there to play, if it's to play a sport, if it's to just have the mentorship. It's so many resources out there. We just gotta connect with one another. Y'all in Miami, y'all know who to hit up. We
Yeah,
got them
but
in the neighborhood.
a lot of people, how can I say it? A lot of people don't want the help because they're afraid, they're embarrassed.
Mm.
A lot. Trust me, a lot of people
You say
are.
it's ego?
Yeah, it's more of an ego thing. I'm the type of person. I'm straightforward. That's how I was raised. If you got an issue, you got to tell me. Don't just sit there and think I'm gonna read your mind and know what the deal is. I'm not a mind reader. And I just security. You want to come out? Can I let my dog out? Hold on a second.
Put your dog on camera too?
Yeah, she want to come outside. Come on. Yeah, that's my pit bull. No, you're not going outside. It's raining. So it's like a lot of people are embarrassed for the fact that they don't be wanting to see. They want the help for their kid, but they don't know how to like ask for it. Because a lot of the times when you come to dealing with sports, everything costs money now. And then you got a lot of people that's in these programs, they stealing money from the youth, stealing money from the parents. So a lot of parents get fed up, but they really be needing the help. So that's where I come in at and be like, you know what, man? I know there's a way around it. We got to figure it out. So I got kids now that can't pay me their parents can't pay me to train, right? So what I do is I paint. I'm a painter, so I paint house. I got a house I'm getting ready to paint. So the kids that can't help me, that can't pay me or their parents can't pay, and this is what you're gonna do. This is how you're gonna work your debt off. You're gonna come help me paint this house. They don't understand the moral of the story. The moral of the story, I don't care. Me personally, I don't do this for money. I got a good job. I don't care about the money. When I teach you how to paint this house, I'm gonna give you a trade that you can learn and take with you. Like I had a 6'10" kid that was at Westminster, James. My guy, James Henderson, good kid. Very memorable, very respectable kid. And his mom was in the situation. I was like, Mom, don't worry about that. Hey, I got to build a garden box for Asia Jones, 2-time gold medalist, played in the UConn, played in the WNBA, 2-time champion. She saw my garden box on Facebook. And he was cool friends with Miss Nikki, which is Penny's wife. And I went up there and I built it. So James had to help me. And when he learned how to build, like he fell in love with just staying in the wood. He's like, Ken, this is cool. I ain't know stain can make the wood do this. And then I taught him how to build a box. He helped me lay the foundation, the screen, the box, put it together. And like he sat back and was like, wow, I helped do that. Like, wow, you got another one you want to do? Like kids, listen, it's funny because kids, they be wanting to do more things than just sit in the house and play video games. Us as adults got to take the initiative to say, hey, this is what we're doing today.
Say that again for the people in the back.
Most adults got to take the initiative to say, hey, this is what it is. And this is what we're doing, and that's what it is.
And that's what it is. Like you just said, these kids are building with their hands.
Yeah.
We done put down the controller. We ain't got the cell phones in our hands. Ain't no social media going on. We outside building.
Yeah. So, like for example, see this? See that picture back there? It's on the wall, black and white. I seen a kid at the time was in the 10th grade. Right? All I did was saw what he did. I said, you don't charge people? He was like, no. I said, look, I want you to draw that picture of me and my kids. I sent him the picture. He drew that with me and my kids, identical to the picture.
Wow.
I paid that kid $160 to draw that picture. He didn't. When I picked it up, I gave him $160, and all I did was go buy a frame. I'm like, dude, your talent is worth money.
So you just helped him to understand that he's worth something.
Yes. Even though you're in high school, it takes time to do that.
Yeah.
Your time is valuable.
So what I heard you just say is not only do these kids get you as a trainer for the skill to learn the skills for basketball, but then they're also getting the skills of life
Mm-hmm.
because they're getting outside of their box. You are showing them how to pretty much survive, that they're building stuff with their hands. And I don't even know what else you do. You say that you take them fishing. You just changing the game for them.
I teach them everything. They come to my house. So
All right, my son's gonna be there too. I hope he's watching this because
hey, look, they cut the
he
kid, and
need
it's
to get
crazy.
back there and learn how to build something.
It's
Shoot, I
crazy
need to
because
be
on
back there too.
the park, the parents are like, "Hey man, you got watermelons growing right now? You got anything growing?
Watermelon growing. You got a garden?
Yeah, I got a garden. You don't want me to go outside and show you this garden now."
Don't take us outside to show your garden. I believe you. I believe you got.
Oh, the kids here. I got
What's in your garden? What you growing?
Well, right now I got pineapples. I got kale coming up from the seed. I got collard greens that's up. I just plucked bell. I just took
Now, do the kids help you with this part? Are they gardening too?
They help me with when they come to my house, I put them to work.
Oh.
See, that's the thing. All right, so look, they come to my house, right? I put their ass to work. And then that Sunday before I drop them back home, we have a big barbecue, or I take them to Sky Zone, or they want to go. We like to go to the alligator farm because they like to go in the apple. So I have every parent sending their kid with like $15 because the apple ride like $30-some, and I pay the difference. And I take the kids on the airboat because for their hard work, I got them. You work hard, you're gonna get a reward. There ain't nothing free. So
Correct.
They like to come because it's different experiences. Like to go fishing. Like you got to see them kids' faces when they catch their first fish. Like that shit.
I can imagine.
That when I
know how it was when I caught my first fish.
Hey, kid, they be scared of the fish, but just for them to catch it and reel it, they be excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, fish. That's pretty dope.
That is pretty dope. Like all of this conversation is dope. Like it just, I'm just like really lost for words because this is why I created the Ladies Lounge, right? Is to have these type of conversations because it's for people who like you said, people who are afraid. When you let the egos down, leave the egos at the door, and you really just have some conversation, you would understand that it's a lot of us out here who are in the community, hands on, like not trying to take advantage of nobody, understanding because I was once like this, that I don't want kids to be like that. So like you said, parents send $15, I cover the rest. But it's all an experience. It's a life experience. And I think every child should have that, because even just it's some stuff that you saying that I'm sitting here like, well, I remember, going to these townhomes with my dad and painting cabinets. I love stuff like that. I wasn't always the little girl who wanted to sit in the house and play Barbies. I was out there on the tractor or the ATV with my dad. It was like I wanted to be up under my dad. So being up under my dad, I was doing, some stuff with him. Long as it was that time is what's so important. And then what, too, again, going back to having your receipts and having the awards and the accolades from your hard work and dedication, you could have these conversations with these kids to show proof of your work. Like, yo, I was just over here, got flued out for lunch, and me and Penny Holloway was over here chopping it up about some stuff we gonna put together. This conversation, and then I could just imagine the kids' eyes like, you and who?
So I got one better. So every time, like, so that week when I flew out to get Dave together, they gave me a whole bunch of Tennessee and Chattanooga stuff. I brought back, I gave to the kids. So when I was out there in Memphis, I had brought back my whole team. I brought pretty much the whole part back Memphis gear.
Wow.
Pulled up to we had a game. We had a game, and I gave out the shirts, and we took the big photo, and I sent it off. And all the parents was like, "Hey, what's the name of your team?" They thought we was Memphis Tigers. I'm like, "No, we're in Cherry," but
I know that's right. Now you didn't mention one person, because you got to let them know in the Ladies Lounge. You ain't mention one person who, this big NBA star whose son you had, come across you a time or two. He played for the Lakers. Both him and the dad played for the Lakers, and you ain't even mentioning that.
Oh, you talking about Bronny? Oh, Bronny that's when LeBron first came to Miami. See, I'm on my new iPad. My old iPad got all the receipts.
Cause this go deep.
They got some stuff. So
It's so deep.
I got a chance to work with Bronny through the Howards. So, I was training the Howards kids for a while. So when LeBron got traded, when he was through free agency, when he came over to the Heat, I got a chance to get with Bronny. And I never forget, we was on the trip and I was talking to LeBron. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get Bronny. He gonna come to my workout. Trust me, I'm gonna get him. She was like, all right. And the Howards made that happen for me. Like when I would work their kids out, Bronny would be there too. So I had all three of them. Yeah, it was pretty dope.
Just so dope. Now I got one closing question that is just really, I really have to ask this before we close out, because we have come to the end of this show, but I really, really want to know just your opinion on in what ways can mentorship help fill the gap for young men who may not have father figures in their lives?
Ask that question again.
And what?
You got to ask that one again for me.
Okay, I'm going to say it slower. In what ways can mentorship help fill the gap for young men who may not have father figures in their lives? So not just the father, but there's just men. Like the consistency of a man, the mentorship.
It only... I'm gonna be honest with you. You're gonna have to ask that one more time because I'm finna go with this.
Okay. In what ways can mentorship help fill the gap for young men who may not have father figures in their lives?
Okay. And the reason why I asked you to ask that question 3 times is because it's a simple answer.
You had me ask that question 3 times to give me a simple answer?
Yeah, because this is as simple as it's gonna get, and it's direct. The only way mentorship works for young men that don't have father figures, if that mentor become the father. Yeah, I got you raising your eyebrows now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you why. Every kid that come across me, I treat them as if they was my own. That's why I pull up the schools. Like, I was at the volleyball game watching Maya. Your son, he works out with her on Sundays. And it was a young lady. She graduated high school, get ready to go to college. I was like, hey, I'm pulling up. Know what her daddy say? Oh, believe me. Oh, if he say he pulling up, I believe he pulling up. He drove all the way to Atlanta for a week to hang out and watch my daughter play. I know he coming. So you got to become that dad. So what it means is that it's all about capital letters, support. You got to have a support system. Most kids don't have a support system. That's why they fail. If a kid say, man, coach, I reached that. Matter of fact, I texted one of my kids last night. That's in Jacksonville. Worked out with me the whole summer. He go to Edward Waters. Hey, how everything going? Everything good in school? Yeah, coach. Hey, I'm gonna send the schedule. I got all right. Because you know why? Why you sending it? Because I know you're going. I'm pulling up. I'm coming. I'm gonna go through my calendar, look at my dates. I'm pulling up. So if a kid has that support, they will perform. You understand what I'm saying? Because most of these kids don't look at us mentors as mentors and coaches. They look at us as father figures. If I could show up to a graduation and watch a kid walk across that stage, that kid I'm gonna have that kid for life. If I could walk in the gym and watch that kid play a basketball game, not just once, that kid I'm gonna have for life. If I could pull up to the school or come talk to that kid when he's having problems, hey, what you think gonna happen? It's gonna change his life. It's all about having the support. You got a support system, the kid gonna do better. That's the importance of being a mentor in today's society. because it's easy for these young men to get distracted to go do bad. But how many of them gonna stand in the paint and do good? You got to have guidance. You got the right guidance, you're gonna do right. As simple as that. Because I took a plenty of ass coming up.
You got me speechless. Like, I don't even know, how do you come behind that? Like, that was just, you're right. It is just that simple.
I'm gonna sum it up to you like this. All my stud kids I have go to Miami Northern to play basketball for Coach Laurie, one of my other mentors. That's a guy I very highly respect and look up to. When David went to Northern, he was messing up his freshman year. I walked in the class, got the phone call, he's sleeping in the class. I told my boss, hey, I got to leave work. Got off the garbage truck, went up there while he was still asleep in the class today on the 2-hour block. Went right upside his bed. Pop. So guess what I did? I put him on a contract. You must maintain a 3.5 GPA or you're going to go back to your home school and you can't play basketball. So that's the model that Coach Lawton lives by. That's the model I live by. If you don't maintain a 3.5, you can't play basketball. Kids don't understand you maintain a 3.5. They give you 500 just for spelling your name right on the SAT. You got a 2.7 and you go high on the SAT, they're going to flag it. You got a 3.5, you're going to survive. It's the difference. It's boundaries to the whole philosophy as far as going to college. And I got to toot my horn on this. You know, I don't toot my horn, but most of my kids that train with me from the time they were small, let's say 4th grade all the way through high school, they all went to play Division I basketball. And guess what? They all got degrees. And I ain't talking about just the 2-year degree. They got masters or bachelor degrees. So when the kid come back and say, hey, coach, boy, I got a master's, boy, I can go get a job here. I did my job.
Wow. That is like, I don't get speechless too much, but you got me.
Because see, I'm not the type of guy, I don't brag. I let what.
But the good ones don't. The people who are like, and when I say the good ones, meaning you move with pure intentions. Mm-hmm. So your work shows for it. Within these kids, the love, the dedication, the consistency that you are putting in with these kids. That is so important, the consistency.
Yeah. That's
your work. Mm. That's why you don't have to do this. The people who do this, they're not working enough. Because you got too much time to talk. It'd be like, look at me, look what I'm doing.
So that explains why when I walk up, when I get out my car and I go in the park, or I just walk in any gym, or like I go to Miami Northern games, like this girl I got now, Bubby. Her mom been wanting her daughter to tell me forever, right? And I had this girl at the time, Shania. I took her from being average to her junior year. She made first team all day because she worked out with me a whole summer, and I taught her how to get where you need to be at. And I sit on the front row at every Northern game, and everybody that walk in that big ass gym, Daddy said, man, why everybody keep stopping talking to this dude? Who the hell is he? And they was like, man, that's Coach King. And that's when she was like, oh, that's the guy I've been looking for. Yeah, so.
Wow.
But.
Now I know, okay, so I got to get a little petty, and I know this is what we do in the ladies' lounge, right? You coach, and I know you deal with a lot of ladies. How? How do you keep your composure with dealing with, or the lack thereof, dealing with the moms? Because I'm a woman, so I know we gonna throw ourselves at you. We gonna do the most. We may fix our hair up a little bit, maybe put some long lashes on, whatever your niche is, to just get the attention. Like, how do you stay focused on what you're doing and not allow?
Can I say what I really want to say?
I'm so nervous for you to say what you really want to say.
I mean, it's a podcast, so I got to keep it a buck, right?
Yeah, we keep it real in here, but I'm so nervous. Go ahead. Okay.
I'm not tender dick.
Okay.
So I deal with a lot of women, and it's crazy because your son was there that weekend when Cool, you know Cool and Dre, the producers.
Yeah.
All right, his wife, she brings her daughter come to the park with your son be out on Sundays, and she is, damn. She got out of the car. She had the old man tell my baby, "You gonna be here next week? We might cook," like that type fine. And it's like those. I don't look at it like that, and because even my fiance, she was like, "Wow, these type of women come around," so she started to come around more. I don't look at them like that because it's, to me, I run a business, and for me to gain their respect, because I might need a favor from her. I'm finna watch this right here. Like I told you, I was working with Ted Lucas.
Yeah.
Owner of Slip and Slide Records. His son was training and playing in my AAU program. One of my childhood friends, she started a record label. She found out I was dealing with Ted. Hey, you think you could give me a meet and greet? I set it up and boom, she took off.
Oh, wow.
So imagine I need that conversation with Cool with somebody that one of my kids that might be into music. I got a plug right there. That's a plug. I can't cross that bridge. And most of the people that I deal with, like when Miss Nikki comes out to the park, that's Penny's youngest son. And you know, the kids be like, man, who that is? Because you know who that is. Like he just different. This kid been training with me since he was 3 years old with a pacifier in his damn mouth. It's like you don't burn those connections. And I deal with a lot of people. Like Timbaland the rapper. I had Lil Frankie from when Lil Frankie was in the 4th grade, all the way till he's at Charleston University. So those bridges I don't cross. I don't look at them. I honestly don't look at them like that. To be honest with you, I just look at them as cool people that can help me grow when I need something. That's how I look at it. Because one of these kids might want to be a rapper or do something. Like matter of fact, Monique Islet, Timbaland's ex-wife. She has a mentor group where she deal with women, like the youth, the girls. And I helped a girl that was going through a rough patch in her life. She helped out just with conversation. You understand? Like kids look up to people that has value, you know, because they respect them more. I don't know why it is like that because, you know, we don't, and I hate to say this, we don't have women on the parks that do what I do, a woman. It's all about the ratchetness, you know, the ratchet stuff. We need more women involved with mentoring these young women. So they get that strip club at 18 and 19 years old. So they understand how, I'm just keeping it a buck with you. My mind for the sugarcoat it.
Please.
Because I walk off in the strip club, chick come dancing for me. How old are you? Girl, get the hell on. You can't do nothing for me at 19. And what did you do in the strip club? You chasing money. You're chasing money for the wrong reasons. You know, you
with you being out there in the community, you're saying that you see that it is a need for women.
Yes, that's why I love.
And I'm so happy. I'm so happy you took it there to say that it is women.
Listen, that's why a lot of people don't like Tracy. It's Tracy Young Byron. I love her. I love her to death because she reminds me of me, just in a woman's body. We graduated the same year, Miami Northwestern. She's a bull, and what she demands from those girls, the work ethic, they have to understand that in order to be a G girl, you have to put in that work. That's the only way you're gonna be able to, your core, your body, everything has to be fit in order to maintain the stamina to perform countless dance routines throughout a football game or whenever y'all doing shows. So that's why her track record, as far as all her girls going to Alabama State, some dancing for the Heat. She even got one dancing the cheerleader for the Dolphins. She got one that's on tour right now. She got one on tour right now with Sexy Red. So as her lead dancer. So like it's ways to make money, but you got to have that foundation. Like every Friday, it's always kids that used to dance under Tracy. They had the football games. And when you got that support and that love that you done poured into these kids and they can come back and give back, that's a blessing. You know how many kids I have come to help me with my basketball stuff? A lot. So we
and I want to back up a little bit. So when I asked that question about how do you handle the women out there, it it was really to also put it out there that, you know, you are a man of business. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's really about what it is that you're doing, your intentions, you know, that are set. And it happens in, you know, every walk of life where, you know, people are going to try you and slide in your DMs and, you know, whatever nowadays. But I brought that up to just show that you can, as a man, you know, just to change the narrative, because you have some men who are tender meat. They don't they don't have that control. You know what I'm saying? And so I always want to pull forth, you know, just the high side of things to say, no, it is men out here who can handle their business and not make it about sex. You know, you're a beautiful woman, or you know, you're a handsome man, but no, this is about business, because the kids come first. When do we put
and that's what it is. I put the kids first, because trust me, I don't have my share, but I look at it like this right here. I'm gonna keep it above. What can you really do for me? Can you come cook me a meal? Can you pay my car insurance? Can you rub?
You about to take this conversation a whole nother way.
I'm just being real. That's how I look at life. I was raised by my grandma. My grandma taught me how to do everything. I could go in there and smother me some pork chops and grits and some chicken wings, some poach, all that. I could do all that. My grandma taught me that stuff. I can make pudding from scratch. You know, I can make cornbread from scratch. I don't look like it, but I can do it. Understand what I'm saying? So it's pretty much like when I look at the women, like, what can you really do for me besides, you got some women right now can't even cook a damn egg sandwich, a scrambled egg. You know, I'm just being real. Some, you know, it is what it is. So that's how I look at it. Like, if I'm in a relationship, is you worth my relationship? No. What can you do for me? Because you got to also understand, I understand your background when it comes to you having to pay me for your kid. I understand your situation already. So why, when you throw yourself at me, why would I take it when I know what you did? When I already know what I'm dealing with. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it don't make, you got to make it make sense. But you got some guys.
So then also too, this is the conversation you're having with the young men as well. Like, don't be out here tender meeting and stuff.
Listen, check this out. When my guys go off to college, you know, everybody be buying all that Trump parties. They be having Trump parties and doing all that. You know what my gift be to them? Send a 2-packs of 36 bucks of rubbers, Trojans. That's your gift from me to you. Because when you go to college, I already know, man, look. The reason why I'm so hard on these kids, I'm going to keep it above. When I was at Miami Northwestern, I was a virgin till my junior year of high school. Boy, when I got that first piece, woo, I was skipping school. I was just being wild with you. Hey, so almost, hey, you know what's crazy? My grandma was the type, she wouldn't say nothing. I used to come home my senior year, because I used to miss a lot of class. My grandma said, boy, I ain't coming to no graduation in August. I ain't paying her no attention. It ain't dawning on me. I ain't coming to no graduation in August. The whole time, my grandma going to the school, meet with my teachers behind my back, I ain't know. So when I got that F, the second 9 weeks in English 4, and I walked in the class, my grandma was sitting right at the desk. Like, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, she don't do stuff like that no more. That's where I get it from going to these kids' schools when they mess up. My grandma did that for me, you know? So I had to stop playing basketball my senior year. I was headed to North Carolina A&T State. That's the college I wanted to go to. I had to shut all that down because I had to focus on graduating.
Wow.
And then my granddad got sick. So I had to stay home and work and help my grandma with the house. But it crushed my dream because I was struggling to graduate my senior year. I barely made it. So I use that as motivation when it comes to making sure these kids have their grades. Because I got a story to tell about it. You know, I got something else to share with you too, though. So after graduating, before graduation, my grandma was trying to teach me the morale of paying bills. So she wanted me to help pay the light bill. My granddad was like, hey, as long as you go to school, you pay ball, you ain't gotta pay no bills. So I took it upon myself to buy a Versace shirt for my senior prom because Tupac was one of my favorite rappers. I paid $5,000 for that shirt. My grandma ain't say nothing.
You paid
That
how
blue,
much?
$5,000. It was a signature series Versace shirt.
Okay.
So on top of that coming out, on top of me buying that, the first Penny Hardaway shoe dropped, which was the blue shoe I showed you.
Yeah.
That shoe was $200. I paid $250 some at the time because I had it 2 weeks before it dropped. I never forget. I walked across the stage. I got my diploma. I never forget. I hugged my grandma, the quickest hug I ever had in my life with my grandma. And I was like, "Damn, Dad, where she went?" Like, well, she gone. That's when the Grand Prix was open. See, a lot of people don't know nothing about the Grand Prix. They got these old uppity mall now. Went to the Grand Prix. I had on my big Versace sweater. I'm stunting with the Reebok with the Jabos. I never forget. I came home. It was about 1 something that morning. I stuck my key in the door, and the locks was changed. And my grandma was like, "You got to go. You grown. You 18." I called my grandma everything but the child of God. And I gotta say it, my punk ass granddaddy. I always say it like because we got a joke, me and my little brother. He was just standing there behind the door looking at me like, "Nigga, I can't help you." I'm like, "Nigga, but you told me." And I never forget, I was hustling at the time. I was dealing drugs at the time. I went and moved in Westwood Terrace Apartments. I never forget. I gave them like $3,700. You finna laugh. I gave them $3,700. And I never forget, the police was banging at my door. I called my grandma. I'm in the bathroom high, and I'm like, "Grandma, why the police at my door?" My grandma was like, "What you did?" I'm like, "I ain't did nothing. I wasn't selling drugs no more. I had, started to change." And she said, "Well, why they there?" I said, "I don't know." So I waited, they left. I walked outside. I had a big note on my door that said eviction. I called my grandma, and I was like, "It's a note on my door that said eviction." My grandma said, "You know what, son? You learned your lesson. Come back home." She said, "When the last time you paid your rent?" I said, "I gave them $3,700 when I first moved in. Don't that cover for the year?"
Bless your heart. Bless your heart.
So the moral of the story is, I had that parent. My grandma was the type of person that instead of beating me, she would talk to me, but she always made sure I went through a life lesson in order to get the message that she was trying to get me to see. And that's how I raise my kids. That's how I teach my kids that I mentor, because it don't make sense to beat on kids. I got in the fight the first time I went to jail. My grandma told me, "Hey, don't go down the street and beat that boy up." I went down there anyway and went to jail. And she told me not to do it. But she made sure I sat in the county for a week. I sat in the
And
county.
see, what I hear you saying is about like reclaiming the village, and we don't have that anymore. We
No.
don't have the grandmas, the the
Oh,
grandpas. Some
you're a
people,
grandma at 23 now.
yeah, we don't even have that anymore. So I'm happy you touched on that. However, it has been an amazing time here in the ladies' lounge. Like you really, really, really. It's so many mics that was dropped tonight. Like we had a little MTV Cribs in the ladies' lounge. Look at us leveling up. That was so dope that you shared it with us to take us on your journey. And really quick, not nothing long and drawn out, but you know, how can people connect with you? Or, like people who may not be in Miami, do you know of resources just throughout Florida that can
Yeah,
help people? Because I know
I
I've had some people reach out to me and was like, they need this in Tampa. They need
oh,
this in
that's
this
my guy,
city.
my guy in Tampa, Tony Perkins. That's my guy in Tampa. You can look Tony Perkins up. Go Tony Perkins on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Tony Perkins. That's my guy in Tampa. He's a basketball trainer, basketball guru. He does a lot of camps. He does a lot of girls events, boys events. He should work for Nike. So he working for Nike to actually focus on the youth. So that's what he does for the youth out in the Tampa and Fort Myers area.
Okay, so we got some resources here, y'all, in the ladies' lounge, and that's definitely what this is about. Like yes, we are evolving through these conversations, but also just putting it out there that the resources is here. We just got to tune into the ladies lounge to get to the resources. However, this has been so amazing. We even went over time of how amazing it was because I couldn't end it just right there, at my last question because this was so needed. Like everything that you touched on needed to be said. It needed to be heard. I hope somebody in the chat took from it what they needed to take from it. And it's we just gonna move forward definitely with these kids. Hopefully, if somebody even out there wants to become a mentor, like it's easy.
It don't take a lot. It's easy.
It don't take a lot. Like
You
you know what I'm saying?
You gotta have a good heart. You gotta have a good heart.
That's first and foremost.
You gotta be determined to change lives. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna end. I live by the motto of what have you done in your life that speaks for you when you leave this earth. That's something I when I leave this earth, my name gonna ring bells. I know it's gonna ring bells.
But the good part about it is while you walk in this earth is ringing bells, so you get to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so of course, yes, after, when your time has come and it's time for you to take your rest, absolutely. You are that presence, that void is going to be felt. And that is something that I was like, after, experiencing my father's passing, I was just like, I really zoned in on what I wanted my footprints to look like. When I leave this earth, I want my son to be able to look back and say, my mom, had this podcast to have conversations, not to just be, shooting the shit. Like we actually in here talking about real life stuff. And this is not for you and I. This is for somebody else who wanted to take that step to become a mentor. This is for somebody else who wanted to, you know what I'm saying? Like do whatever it is that you wanted to do in life. Long as you have the good intentions and the faith in God, you have to step out on it. You got to get out your own way because it's so much. Like I say this all the time, it's so much that we need to share with the people that's coming. We are the village now.
Yeah.
When we talk about we don't have the village no more because that's us, and we need to own it. It's time for us to own that. So I could talk about this all day, and we don't went over, and I just love the people that did rock with us until now. However, this is the second to last episode, y'all, that we are going to be on Facebook Live. So if you have not already, make sure you've gone on over there and subscribe to the Ladies Lounge podcast, y'all, on YouTube, because starting October 2nd, we are going to be going live on YouTube. So make sure you are already subscribed. We got Coach King in the building. He's out here mentoring people and the kids and the family. We taking flights and trips. He said he got us on the next trip. Maybe the Ladies Lounge will be in Paris. Who knows?
Hey, no,
who knows?
I'm actually planning the trip though. I'm actually going to go with this group to South Africa. That's my goal. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's a group. They go to South Africa next year.
Look at that. He's still traveling, y'all. So he out here in these streets. I'm gonna just put it out there and say it. Not like that.
I'm in the air.
That part right there. But look, listen, as y'all know, every Wednesday we are in the Ladies Lounge at 7 p.m. Y'all join me next Wednesday at 7 p.m. here in the Ladies Lounge. I got another special guest. Ladies, y'all may want to tune into this. And fellas, I'm going to need y'all on this one too. Because I got a special guest. He going to come on and guess what, y'all? He want to talk about how men do want relationships, but y'all women be playing. Y'all be playing games. So next week we get into it. I need my men to come on. I need my men in the chat because we finna end our last Facebook Live with a bang on this conversation. So ladies, y'all better come with it. Men, I need y'all too, because we gonna talk about this. Y'all women be out here talking about these men don't be wanting y'all, but they do. You just don't know when you have a good one. But we gonna say that for next Wednesday. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for tuning in and rocking with your girl, Coach King. Thank you so much for stopping by and being in the ladies' lounge and sharing with us and leveling us up. But now I'm finna MTV crib, ladies' lounge crib. Like, we here. Like, I love y'all, man. And we out of here. See y'all next week. Love y'all.
All right.
You don't hang up.
Hey, man.